Hi guys, and welcome to this video. This is our last shopping session with prompts. I hope you have enjoyed this series of videos. This time around we are going to spin 6 prompts for my local indie bookshop, which I love to hang out at as well. So after we do some shopping, we'll definitely hang and read there too. I did finish a book last night, so I need to select one to actually take to. But before we do that, we're going to spin our 6 prompts and go through the options because they're like specified to an indie bookshop. Jot them down, get changed, etc. And yeah, we'll go hang out at the indie bookshop for the afternoon, which will be fun. So let's go through So I've got ask someone else hanging in the cafe and reading or just having a drink for a book recommendation, staff recommendations, a merch item, a signed book because they have some indie signed books in store, which is fun. Anything from the romance section and anything from the fantasy section. So indie bookshop, they have 2 sections, fantasy and romance, and then they have like the merch section and everything. Yeah, and then I've got on the bottom, select a section and get something from the bottom row, select a section and get something from the top row. So there are options. Let's do a shuffle. And then let's do our 6 spins and see what our prompts are for today. Hope you guys are loving these videos just as much as I'm having fun doing them. Our first spin is anything from romance. Okay, take that one off. Our second prompt. Ooh, a signed book. I loved signed books, especially from indie authors. Makes it extra special. Especially if you like meet them at author events and makes it a bit more personalized then. A book recommendation from someone hanging out. Just writing it down, sorry. Always fun getting recommendations. Our 4th prompt. Anything from fantasy. Okay, so we've got 2 more. What are we going to get for those 2? Select a section and get something from the bottom. Always a neglected row, the bottom row. And our last prompt for our indie bookshop is a great one, staff recommendations. Got some good prompts there. Okay, let's run through them all. Organized to go. So we've got anything from romance, a signed book, book recommendations from someone hanging out there as well, anything from fantasy, bottom row of any section, staff recommendations. Some great prompts there. So yeah, I'm gonna get organized, head the hang. We might chill and read a bit first, and then we'll have a book shopping and recommendation chat and stuff like that. Yeah, and just chill there on this awesome Saturday that I'm filming. So yeah, I'll catch you all there. I'll get what footage I can. They do get a bit busy on Saturday, so if I can't film much within there, I'll just try and take pictures. If not, then we'll definitely do a haul. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see what eventuates, but yeah, we'll hopefully catch you there for some footage, or at least photos. Hey guys, welcome to the haul part of my challenge video of shopping with prompts at Fables Froth, which is my local indie bookshop. Unfortunately, it was so crazy busy in there, so I couldn't get much footage, but I will put in the little bits that I can do. I did spend a fair bit of reading time in there as well, just hang out there a bit, which is always fun. I've just got my glasses on so I can read the back of things if I need to and stuff like that, and obviously my prompt list as well. Yeah, so I have had great fun filming these videos. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching them as well. Definitely a challenge to shopping. And yeah, definitely a fun way to film them and of course watch as well. So yeah, we'll go through our prompts. There are a couple of extras, a few extras as well, because they surprised us out of the blue. They were all of a sudden like, yep, this Saturday and Sunday, guess what guys, we're gonna have 50% off all books in store. And I was just like, like I couldn't believe it. Like they don't have many sales, and I was just like, perfect timing. So yeah, it was smack bang, like out of control, crazy. That's why I couldn't get much footage. There was just people coming in and out like all the time, constantly. But yeah, that it's all good. It was super fun, and yeah, as I said, I had a super fun reading session and a drink from the cafe there and everything as well. So yeah, good times. So let's go through our prompts and the other stuff that I grabbed as well at the end, and yeah, go through our goodies. So the first prompt was anything from the romance section. So just to explain a bit, in our local indie store, they have two sections, a romance and a fantasy section. So there's two sections to select from, and yeah, one of our prompts was to go to the romance section, so we did that. The first one I grabbed from there is Sam Park's Date Night. This is a second book from you've got what was it called? You've got Chainmail, which I read not long ago actually. If you've seen my TBRs and wrap-ups and stuff, I gave the first one 4 stars, and I kind of was excited to see this. I was like, oh, that's the second one. I did enjoy the other one. It was quick, easy to read, and enjoyable. This one's called Date Night. Such a cute cover. So it's another like role-playing kind of fun vibed book. Like you've got Chainmail because it was like base British ish festival kind of vibes. So Phil plays a weekly role in a game. Doesn't exactly state what, so it could be same kind of vibe, or it could be like indie or whatever. And then his best friend's sister Amy returns home. So it looks like she's our other character. So Phil gets to play a real life hero. And his quest is to be Amy's fake boyfriend for 3 months. And obviously it's fake, and there's this fantasy kind of element to his act, his role playing. And obviously they fall in love, I would say. So yeah, sounds like another fun time. So yeah, I was kind of excited to see this again. Didn't expect it. The other one I got is Romance is Dead. This one is by Katie Rowan, I think her name is. This is about like a scream queen horror movie female, and she's sick of off-screen drama and tabloids and all that kind of stuff, and she's decided to do one last film before quitting. And then there's this guy Teddy, looks out to kill for, it says. But they don't get along on set. And then they stumble across like a dead body on set, and then obviously it's like a bit of a murder situation happening, and it's just totally up my vibe of reads. So yeah, Romance is Dead was the other one that I got for romance. So anything for romance, and yeah, I kind of doubled up in a lot of things because of the book sale. And next prompt was signed book. So I had in mind before I went to grab at least the first book of this trilogy, but I decided with the sale to just grab the full trilogy. It's called The Guardians of Grove. It's by Chloe Hodge. So the first one, so orphaned and all alone, Ashleigh has one goal in life: to avenge the death of her parents. So she then goes on to a quest to discover her motives and stuff like that. And then she finds guardians of the grove and gateways and stuff like that. It just sounds really, really interesting. And obviously we have our signature. And there's also like a bookmark with a quote and a character on there as well. Book one is called Vengeance Blooms. They all have like florals on them. The other one is called Retribution Dies. I won't tell you on the back because obviously it was violent. And then the character in the quote, he looks like a wizard guy. And then the third one, which is Fury Burns. Yeah, sounds like a really good one. So yeah. And then of course the signature as well. I'm not sure if there's a author thing in there, but not in the third one. Let's have a look in the first one. Let's have a look. She is an Adelaide. What's your author? Chloe? So yeah. It's always cool to have Aussie indie authors. I love supporting them and ever since our indie bookshop opened, it's been like a bit easier and stuff like that. And obviously when I went to Sydney, I went to an awesome indie bookshop down there too, so that was cool. A book recommendation from someone else hanging out in the book cafe. So I asked people I knew, obviously coming in and out, and also hanging out and reading and stuff, what they recommend. A lot of books mentioned were books that I already have, or books that I've already read, or something like that, because if they were reading, I obviously asked them what they were reading too. Many who are into romance and stuff, they were reading this series of the Deal series, the Off Campus series. I am really wanting to read that series, and obviously watch the show as well. It is on my shelf already though. Not really much was mentioned fantasy wise. The Deal was mentioned romance wise. Alison A. Andrews was mentioned to me as an author, but I've read all her stuff up to date. Rebecca Yarros was mentioned as well, but I don't really want to read any of her romances. I kind of want to stick to her fantasy stuff. Abby was mentioned as well, the author of Yours Truly and stuff like that. I've got a majority of her books, so yeah, and have read some of them as well. Yeah, so it's either authors that I know of or that I've already got books of, until one mentioned a fantasy book and mentioned Fear the Flames by Olivia Darling. A lot of my friends in that community of our book cafe, indie bookshop, they know that I love dragons in my fantasy reads. That's a big topic, and they asked me if I had read Fear the Flames, and I said no, but I have been eyeing this book off like crazy when I'm in here, and it's actually like a standalone book too, which is cool. Obviously it's very dragon based, princess based, king based, dragons obviously. Apparently there's dragon eggs involved, and there seems to be, between a couple of characters, a bit of banter and stuff like that, and maybe relationships. So yeah, that sounds cool. I'm not sure where the author is from. Doesn't really say. It might just be, I don't know. She's a New York author, but that's fine. But yeah, to have a standalone fantasy is very unique. It's got a cool map inside, and the cover is gorgeous too with the gold. So yeah, that was a recommendation from someone hanging out at the book cafe in the bookshop. And then we had anything from the fantasy section. This actually links to one of the staff recommendations as well. So anything from the fantasy section is a trilogy. I decided to go the whole trilogy because they sounded really, really good. So it's Under the Water vibe. It's also Arthur Legend vibe and mermaid vibe, as well as Atlantis kind of vibe. It's a bit of everything. It sounds really, really awesome. It links to one of the staff's recommendations. She recommended the author Kate Schumacher to me, and that these books might be like totally my vibe, which is totally true. I'm just seeing. She's a New South Wales author, so down Sydney way, so that's cool. The first book is called The Call of the Sea. The series is called The Grail Cycle. The second one is A Song of Magic. The covers are really gorgeous too. And On This Broken Earth is the third one. So yeah, there's that trilogy from the fantasy section. I was just going to grab one book, but because the sale made them really cheap, like I was just like, yeah, grab them all. Because if I love them and they sound like I love them, then go for it with the sale. So that was anything from fantasy, and then one of the staff recommendation books that I got. Yeah. So the next prompt was something from a bottom row of either the fantasy section or the romance section. I did look in both. I looked in the romance section first because obviously I was getting a whole heap from fantasy. Unfortunately, nothing in the romance bottom section. It was a lot of stuff that wasn't really my vibe, and some of it was a bit spicier and stuff like that. So I left the romance section, went back to the fantasy section, and I found this book by Lachlan Warwick called The Last Sword Bearer. This is from the Isle of Ithlando series. It's known to be kind of Lord of the Rings kind of vibe. That's how people describe it. So it's obviously world-based. It's about a village being brutally attacked, lives being torn apart, obviously. Then he embarks on a journey, comes across like a wizard and the dark forces of an evil dark elf lord. And then obviously it's about his journey and stuff. He discovers that his fate is bound to a conflict that threatens the realm itself, so the world itself. Yeah, so it sounds really interesting. Yeah. It doesn't say where the author's from. It says a little bit about him, but he does like the works of the Lord of the Rings author. So obviously that's why there's that kind of vibe coming through into his own work. This is a bit back about him as well. Let's see. I think he's from New South Wales. There's quite a lot of authors from New South Wales actually. Yeah. And obviously it's an extra prompt I've signed too because it's a new author. So yeah, that was the bottom shelf fantasy section, or the bottom row of a section. And then we jump into more recommendations from the two girls that run the indie bookshop, which is our last prompt, staff recommendations. So I mentioned the author Kate Schumacher before. I decided to get her duology as well as the trilogy that I mentioned before, because this sounded really good too and totally my vibe, and I hadn't read anything fire, supernatural fire element kind of vibe before, and I just thought it sounded really cool, and I wanted kind of both as well. It's the Fires of Elran series. The first book is called Shadow of Fire. So it's about a potion of power is about to be unleashed, forbidden and forged in flame. And it's got like gods involved, and it's got obviously fire casters and stuff like that, and powers, and it's also got like fey princesses and stuff like that as well. So yeah, it's about controlling magic and schemes of gods and mortals and spells and stuff, and it just sounds so cool. And obviously that fire caster element really appealed to me as well. Yeah, I just thought that it was very, very interesting, and I'm really excited actually. I might probably start with this duology before the other one. The second book is called Heart of Flame of that duology. So yeah, I might actually do this before the trilogy one. And then a couple of romances, a few and as extras and a couple as staff recommendations. I'll do the staff recommendation ones first because obviously that's the prompts. Escape to the Northern Lights by Carrie Walker. So this one is about a lawyer. She went on a reset to a book retreat, obviously near the Northern Lights in Norway. And yeah, obviously she's trying to chill and relax and discover herself a bit more, and she meets an outdoor guy called Hendrik, and then obviously something romantic happens. It says here that there's like humor involved and stuff like that from some author quotes, and such a gorgeous cover. So that's a recommendation as well. When I got the Romance is Dead one, I said I like that kind of vibe stuff, and then they're like, oh, you like vampires and werewolves and that kind of vibe, and obviously like movie kind of vibe and TV show kind of vibe, and like fun kind of things like that. So they suggested fan service, which is a similar thing to Romance is Dead, because it's like set in like the filming side of things, except this one is like werewolf, supernatural kind of based. Yeah, which is going to be really fun actually. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this one. There's actually an Ashley Polston quote on the front, I realized. It says, "Grumpy meets sunshine with teeth." And I do love grumpy, sunshine, that kind of stuff. The author is Ruby Dunnan. So yeah, that was a recommendation as well. So then I grabbed a couple of extras because a while back when I was doing my TBR prompts, I kept pulling out letters for romance books that I didn't have anything for. So obviously that video I was doing like a lot of redraws and stuff to fulfill my prompts, and yeah, I was just going through them a bit as well, because obviously I was taking opportunity at the book sale and kind of like doubling my purchases than my original plan. One of those letters was the letter K, so I got King of Jokers from the King series by BYK Peters, who is a Aussie indie author. I said this is kind of a bit of a recommendation as well as, I guess, because I was talking to the staff and I said, look, I've been eyeing this series off ever since you opened, and I keep looking at it because it's Australian football or AFL based, which would make things so unique being Australian. And I said, I'm not really sure like if I would like this author's writing or whatever. And yeah, they just said, why not just grab the novella, which is obviously a taste of what the author was writing would be like. And they said the series doesn't have to be read in any particular order, it can be read any way you want to. So maybe, yeah, like start off with the novella. If you like it, then next time you're here, you can pick up the next one. And I thought that was such a good idea. So I picked up King of Jokers, which is the novella. It has a picture and a bookmark in it, which is always awesome. As I said, it's like Australian football AFL based, so obviously the guy is a AFL player. And then there's a girl called Winter. She wanders out of her familiar town of Willow Bay to where Jack is, obviously. And then obviously they share some moments together when they meet and stuff. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. It's only very, very short, so I do have book club this upcoming Saturday, so I might even just read it before then, because obviously I'm going this Saturday as well, and then when I'm there I can grab the first one, which is King of Hearts, I think. So if I don't mind it, then I can grab like the first one at least when I'm there. So, and that covers the letter K as well. Another letter from those prompts that I was getting was the letter W. So I got What If It's You by Julie Jarlon. This is just a general author. I don't think she's Australian or whatever. But that's fine. This is like the female works at a high-tech pixel agency, so that's why that covers like pixel vibes. And what happens? She wakes up 5 years into her life with a guru. But in her real life, she has Ollie. Yeah, so it might be a bit of like a time frame one. That'd be cool, because I haven't really read a romance like that before. That's probably why like this guy with red hair there, but if you look at it upside down, there's a guy, a different guy there. Didn't realise that while I was there. So yeah, sounds like a fun read, and it's only very short too, which will be for letter W. So yeah, I've got a lot of TBR cart changing to do with some of my new stuff from all this book prompt shopping. It was super fun, by the way. I hope you enjoyed watching them all. I had fun shopping in that way. It gave me a lot of challenge when I was doing so. But yeah, it was also a lot of fun as well. Upcoming videos, obviously we've got our July TBR. I am thinking of doing the mid-year book tag so that you guys know, like from the first 6 months, what my reading journey's been like, and a little bit about future months as well. And then at the end of all those questions that everyone usually answers, I might at the end put like, this is where I'm at with my number goal for the year and my challenges that I have set for myself to do for the year, just so you guys have a bit of an update on that. And it's also good for me to look at that kind of thing as well and say, hey, this is what I've achieved, and this is what I kind of need to look into doing, yeah, to try to meet those challenges. Yeah, so there'll be that as well. There'll probably, because I've been doing a lot of sorting, there might be a little library run as well at some point. I've got a lot of books for little libraries, so that might be coming up as well. I'm not sure exactly when, but soonish. What else? Oh, obviously my wrap up from June reads as well. I am going away for a little bit in July for like a bit over a week, so yeah, there will be a bit of a stop in videos and whatnot. I will be hopefully wandering around some bookshops and stuff there. If I'm alone and not with other people like I was in Sydney, then I can like film clips and take photos and stuff like that. And if I do purchase anything, like I'll do a haul when I get home and stuff like that. Yeah, I've just got to do a bit of research about the area and what's around and stuff where I'm gonna be, so but yeah, there might be a bit of a break in videos and stuff on the way as well. Yeah, so there at least will be my next TBR video, my next wrap up video, the mid-year book tag wrap up kind of situation and looking into the future. For the rest of the year, there will be little libraries coming up soon as well, at least to like donate and see what's going on. I might even do, if I can, like a little bit of like a op shop crawl around, see what there is happening at like op shops, if anything. Sometimes there's not a lot happening, but sometimes there is. But yeah, if I feel like when I'm there's a good filming opportunity, I might do it, but yeah, it may not happen either. But yeah, thank you for watching this today. I won't ramble on too much more about upcoming future videos, but if you want to stay tuned, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button and stuff so you know when future things happen. You can also look in the description box as well, as I always put my Instagram channel on there as well, which is linked to my YouTube channel. So I will put, every time like a video goes up, I'll put like a picture and a description of what that video is about, saying that it's up and go watch it and stuff like that. Or in situations like little clips and photos and stuff like that, if I don't have time to do like a full-on video, then there'll be footage there on the Instagram as well. Yeah. But thank you so much for joining me in my prompt challenge book shopping for the last 3 videos. I greatly appreciate all of you watching. Hope you've had fun watching. If you have read anything that I've picked up, pop a comment, and yeah, I'll catch you all in the next video, which will be very, very soon. Bye.